Welcome to today's messages. I hope you are well and in love and in light and gorgeous. Yes, let's get into it and see what messages are for us today. What messages will come our way as we wander down this path towards love, right? We always want to be heading towards love. What is this? What's this? Where's my glasses? What's this? What's this? What is it to do? Okay, it's right here. I see it. Nope, that's not it. Surrender. Yes. Surrender makes your fear vanish and helps you to focus on your heart and your feelings. Surrender old patterns that prevent you from opening up into your heart. Okay. Surrender all paths that lead away from love. Surrender to the processes, surrender to your knowing, to your intuition, surrender to your now moments and be in gratitude and love. Surrender to your heart because it wants to love. It wants to love you and it wants to pour its love out into the surrounding area around you. Yes. Okay, manas. We got manas. Okay. So this is about partnerships and community, I believe. Manas. The keenly intelligent meerkat finds joy in family and kin. Each individual contributes their own strength to the betterment and success of the clan and society. Lessons learned by one generation are then passed down to those that follow, continuing to strengthen and protect the clan. As much as Manas speaks of the joy of clan and kinship, this rune represents the rational mind and intelligence rather than emotion and instinct. When you're presented with this rune, it is time to leave emotions behind and return to the rational. It references the seat of divine intelligence in the human soul and our united collective potential. This is the time for mind, memory, and learning. Humanity, intelligence, awareness, society, and learning. Okay. And because we've got the heart and the head here, it's also speaking about the importance of balance, right? You are surrendering to your heart, but not so imbalanced and blind that you aren't rational about it, right? Your heart may want to fly off of a cliff, but your rational mind is like, okay, but we're not actually going to jump off this cliff right now, right? In the real world. In the real world, because that's exactly it, where it's like the grounding and your intuition, right? There, you need to be grounded because you are in this three-dimensional world where we have certain laws that we need to follow. And I'm talking about like the laws of gravity. Okay. I'm also getting the family and kinship. This is about like the humanity family, right? The things that you learn and share and discover, and pathways that you open up and doorways that you unlock. You are doing so for generations coming and following behind you. Right? When you are maintaining this frequency of love, you are holding a frequency that, or operating a radio station that other people can tune into and, create their own similar yet uniquely harmonious, beautiful stations. And then instead of just having one love station, there are all the love stations. And this is how we, as a collective, affect reality. Because when everybody's listening to the love frequency, the three-dimensional world has no choice but to respond. Okay. Let's tap in and see what the messages come out for us today on this topic of balancing, affecting community. I want to say legacy and love and your heart and surrender. Okay, these are the cards that we will interact with today. And we'll see which one wants to start it for us. It's you, the magician. Okay, beautiful. This is why you are creating legacies. See, this is how. You're an alchemist. Okay, the magician is one able to utilize the elements in their favor, right? Able to alchemize all the things that are tossed in their direction, changing, base metals into gold, right? This is like the Midas touch, and also like Gandalf and Merlin. I almost forgot Merlin. And your ability to manifest wishes, okay? Which is beautiful. This is your recognition of your power to create, to transform. And the main component of that power is your recognition of the power of your will, right? Your will to achieve, your will to believe, your will to allow. And this beautiful balancing. And your spirit team, okay, being completely on your side. They are just loving what you are doing because you are creating a solid pathway between the earth realm and the astral, the non-physical, with your gorgeousness. Ooh, I just got some goosebumps. Okay, so your experience and your transition, your experience is creating this transition. This is your life path home to your intuitive nature, to your feminine center, to your knowing, to your wisdom, to your nurturing. as well as your destruction, right? Because we are light and shadow. This is that duality of wholeness. Yes. The yin and yang, two separate aspects of the whole, or that create the whole. Okay, so we've got your perspectives, okay? Your ability to, this is part of your transmutation power, your ability to recognize and transform. Recognize, surrender the things that fall away and focus on the things that stay. This is a very important aspect of self. This is part of the reclamation of your power and your will, is your ability to shift your focus, to choose what you focus on. And the surrendering, things that want to fall away, you're not chasing after them. You're not trying to hold them, because you recognize that all things change, all things shift. You trust the universe is rearranging things for you to work out in your favor. And so when things are falling away, you may glance and acknowledge and, say goodbye in your releasing process. But there's no tears, there's no crying, or that's tears or struggle, trying to force things that are no longer serving you. Okay, and that has contributed to you becoming one able to manifest things in the real, right? It's one thing to make wishes, to want things, to envision things, but it's a whole other. Who's this guy here? It's another black cat. Another black cat. Okay, the hermit came out. So this is where you did a lot of this growth, this healing, this transforming, this becoming. Because it's in your hermiting mode, whether it's physically hermiting or mentally, spiritually, right? Because sometimes we aren't able to get away from the world because the world is everywhere. But this is about going in, doing the hard, asking the hard questions, in this self-reflective, transformative, what am I looking at? Where, where am I looking? And all of that. In your hermiting mode, think of hermit mode like the cocoon, right? It's a necessary part that's going within for transformation. Okay. And you came out a beautiful emperor butterfly. Okay. Which is awesome. Like, that's your power. You became one who has the discernment, not only for your own greatest and highest good, but also for the greatest and highest good of all. Like, when this is that as within, so without, right? When you recognize that love is the answer, love is the main ingredient, for your life and transformation, you also recognize how empowering it can be for others as well. And this is not like jamming love down people's throat who don't want it, right? This is more about being the example of the power of love and allowing people the opportunity to choose it for themselves. Because we This is our free will, right? We need to be able to choose these things for ourselves. That is part of the process. That is part of the becoming. It is part of our divine sovereignty. Okay. And so is having to bear witness, to be one who must heal the heart. Okay. Because it is through that heart healing process that we discover these things, that we find and nurture the love within. And this is something you have to do. You just have to do it on your own. Nobody can show it to you. You have to feel it. You have to experience it. This is part of your experience. Yes. Yes, it's also part of the empathy, right? This links you to others, your ability to empathize based on your experience, right? You've been there, you've done that in a certain degree. Everybody has their own experiences, but there's, loss, yes, grief, yes, hurt, betrayal, like these things, even the circumstances may be different, the details of the circumstances may be different, but the effects and what they have on our heart is universal. And so that was a necessary part of your transformation, of your healing, right? It's part of the delicate balance between all things, right? This tempering process of becoming. You need to dip into the flame and you need to dip into the cold water, right? You need to suffer the pressure in order to come out the diamond. Okay. Okay, which one of these are gonna come up? It's the Queen of Swords, okay? So she is the one who cuts away, who communicates clearly, who cuts and communicates clearly, okay? She is transformed. She is the boundary setter woman. She's the boundary setting woman. She's the one who releases. She's the one who course corrects. She's the one that reminds us to not fall victim to the things that are leaving our world, and instead just cuts them free, right? And we don't want no danglers. Let those danglers go. She cuts them free and releases them. The devils. She cuts free and releases the devils, okay? Because there are no place for them in this journey except integrated as part of our whole, right? This is that yin yang, the light and the shadow. And that was another part of this transformation process, is your ability to recognize and alchemize, right? Yes. Okay. And you getting to the goal of it, the end of it, you arriving as one whole. Like, I want to say this is the yin yang symbol, right? Integrated shadow and integrated light into wholeness. This is what your spirit team is like. Yay! This is you coming out of your hermit mode, being like, okay, I get it. I see it. I understand it. I transform it. I alchemize. I recognize, let's move to the next phase, right? Let's take it to the next level. Okay. So let's get some supporting cards here. There's work, rewards for doing the work, your growth from the work, things not quite being all visible, right? Because the moon's like, not everything is visible right now. So this is that trust in things that are unseen. This is the movement into calmer waters. And this is the work that you have done to become and transform. This yet to be revealed, right? The moon has secrets, and it's also about divine timing. No rashi. No rashi. Trusting in the process. Okay, kitty. What was this guy's name? I was gonna name him something. I think he's Shadow. I think he might be Shadow. Speaking of light and shadow. Okay. Okay, is there any more that want to come out for this from this deck here about all of this? Any confirmations on the devil here? Okay. This one, we've got patience. We've got the King of Wands. We've got protection and communication. And we've got your intuition. Okay. So this is a little extra message to the messages. Extra messages to the messages. Patience on action, protection, and your intuition, trusting, knowing. Also, yet to be revealed, right? There's a lot of mystery involved in what is still growing beneath the surface. The King of Wands holds the vision, takes passionate action, and balance here. We've got the light and the shadow with the angel and the devil on his shoulder, and we've got the masculine and feminine with the lions here. Okay. Wands is fire, passionate. Okay. And the Knight of Pentacles, he is the particular and the prepared knight. This is a slow moving knight, but moving forward still. Okay. This is a communication that is safe, a safe space to communicate, perhaps, and this intuition, this knowing of something coming. Okay. Of something coming, ... We'll leave it in the unknown, as so many things like to be. Okay. In the unknown. Yes, this is your surrendering to the unknown, to the things you can't see, feel, taste, or touch. But you can know, you can sense. And to not get so caught up in trying to figure it out. This is that balance, right? Between your surrender and your logic. Like, it's okay to figure some things out, to make logical steps. But this is about finding your balance and your anchoring into this earth realm, and not to get too caught up in fantasy, because then you borderline delusion. Okay, so this is 34. Speak your truth, wisdom, connection, and exploration. Communicating a thought, feeling, or emotion that comes directly from your heart is to speak your truth. It often requires personal courage and may challenge an existing relationship dynamic. Is there a circumstance that leaves you feeling frustrated, angry, or sad? Explore any fear that surrounds your interactions and suppresses your heart's voice. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Expressing the thoughts and feelings of your heart, when delivered in a gentle way, can create miraculous change in your life. You are guided to find your voice and speak your truth. Be respectful to others and embrace your power. Beautiful. Beautiful rainbow confirmations. I'm seeing like this guy wearing headphones here. This person sees guy looking at the side eye there. That's his mouth. And then he's got this crazy parrot. Look at the parrot mouth right there. Okay, so speaking your truth and acknowledging your fears around that. I know when I first started speaking my truth or trying to, I kind of had to yell it out. I would cry. My eyes would just, I would bawl my eyes out. I just wasn't used to saying it, but I was also so used to having my truth be confronted and denied, and talked over or fought against. And it was a necessary part of my growth because it pushed me to try harder, to yell it out, to do so even though I was crying, even though water was gushing out of my face. And then you get better at it. Not to say that I am very, very good at it now, but I am more able to speak truths without bawling my eyes out. But I mean, this is the power of speaking your truth, right? You're releasing emotion as you speak your truth. I feel like tears hold the memory of traumas. And every time you speak your truth and tears come out, you are releasing the traumas, the hurt and the pain and grief sometimes, most times, that are attached to that truth. So change your perspective and embrace your tears because it's a release. It's a release. Okay. We've got the fish and we've got the zebra. So we've got fire and water. Here's the balance here. Okay, fish, I know you're slippery. Oh, zebra came first. Okay, zebra. Eccentric, creative, visionary. Zebras are the most precious of gems. They are young at heart, well cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. Being in the company of a zebra personality not only is a delight, but also opens our minds. Be prepared. Their potent magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environmental or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bags. When in balance, worldly, enthusiastic, and fashion forward. When out of balance, jaded, pouty, and vain. To bring into balance an epic adventure and art, which is its own adventure. Okay, and I feel like this is the magician. This is who you transformed into. Yes. Okay, fish. Okay, fish. Okay, fish. Restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. This is telling me about whatever's going on here with this patient king who needs to communicate and listen to their intuition, okay? Um, this fish is asking to do the same thing. This is the spending time with the lunar forces. Go within in the quiet of the night, right? We've got the moon here. And tap into your heart. This feels like it needs that balance between the heart and the rational mind. We can ration ourselves away from our heart's desires easily. Okay. When in balance, adaptable travels well. When out of balance, distracted changes the mind often. This is what happens when you're too much in your mind, right? It's easy to flip flop like a fish. To bring into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. Okay, and in this case, I feel like it's the goal to go within and connect with your heart. What does your heart want you to do? What action is your heart telling you to take? Go within and figure it out. Okay. Let's get a couple of the mini D deck. For extra messages and guidance. Oh, the chariot and the moon flipped, but I flipped them back. Okay, what do we got here? Release the old things so that the new things can be born, okay? Yes. Very important. We'll see if it wants to come out again. Why are there so many flippers here? What else we got? We got the magician confirmation. Yes, you are one who is magical and capable of alchemizing all the things. Look at, there's a rainbow over here. On your growth, okay? Your work contributes to your growth, your work on yourself. This is part of your expansion, right? This going within, this self analysis, transformation process. This is your growth. This is how we grow, okay? Temperance, confirmation, it's a process. It takes as long as it takes. Remove and release and surrender to that process and allow, okay? The chariot wanted to come out because things are happening quickly and will once you find that balance between your head and your heart. The sun coming out to balance the shadow here. Okay, beautiful. This is that looking at things from different perspectives. Not all adversary is evil, right? Think of adversaries as necessary components. It's part of the tempering process. It's the pressure. that turns coal into diamonds. Necessary part of the process. Okay. Radiate. This is you recognizing your sun power within and your ability to shine bright. Your justice. This is the scales tipping in your favor. This is about you getting back what you gave. And if you're here on the Love Vibe High Tribe channel, then you've given love regardless of everything less than that was given to you. Okay? And that will be rewarded. And we've got a moon confirmation. So there's lots of things that are happening over here in this patience. Things happening behind the scenes yet to be revealed. Okay, so trust that all things are working in your favor. No matter what they look like on the surface, they are working in your favor. Remind yourself of this, especially when you're confronted with something falling away that you have an attachment to, that you're like, no, where, why, right? You're like, oh, I have an attachment to that. Why, where, when, how, who? And then cut the dangler, right? Because you want to move swiftly and with little resistance into your new. Okay, there are your resistances that you will be confronted with, that you need to be able to alchemize and move through. Okay, this could also be external forces that are seeing you slipping away, that are going to try harder to get their hooks in you, right? But you've got a very strong discernment and sharp sword. So your ability to recognize any dangling, any hooks, any lines, any attachments, any cords, and you are slicing yourself free. Okay, because the world is your oyster. Because you are transitioning, moving into a world of abundance, of love, of joy, of balance, right? This is not a world that doesn't have shadows. We are in the three-dimensional world. We are on a planet, in a reality that has both light and shadow within it. And this is why the integration of shadow, the confrontation of shadow, the owning fear, the empowering yourself through fear is so important. Oh, we got one more. Oh, there's the yin yang. Okay, with the rainbow conformation. Oh, kind of, it flipped for a bit. This is what I'm talking about, right? Your balance, your beautiful, beautiful balance. And as without, so within. Okay, so as you move, change, and empower, so too does your divine counterpart. And then the two of you come together and create your own world of wholeness. And it's beautiful. Okay. Okay. Let's look over here and see what we have. Okay. We've got your angels just so in love with you and your abilities to be you, right? Your dedication, your integration, your transformation. They are just like, so proud. They're very proud of you and the things that you have accomplished and the things that you have yet to accomplish. This is just the beginning of a new, right? This is just the movement out of the cocoon as a butterfly. And now you have a whole world, a whole new life as this butterfly ahead of you. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay. We've got the wild water buffalo who refuses to be domesticated and who embodies both the masculine and feminine, because us humanese can't tell which is which, if it's a male or a female. And their refusal to be domesticated, this is that sovereignty in an unmovable, unshakable determination way. And that is your reclamation of your power. It's a knowing of your power. And we've got the reliable. This is the kind of thing that you can rely on. Maybe your experience has led you to not have a lot of people to rely on, to trust, who are loyal and dependable. And this is your relationship with self and spirit that is reliable, that is dependable. And your ability as this butterfly, as one who discerns, who can face the shadow, face the adversaries, and know what to do. I'm either cutting you away or I'm integrating you. There's no other. I will not succumb to any of your ness, right? You will draw in others who embody the same type of loyalty to self and therefore loyalty to others. Okay, and then we have the beautiful star that is smiling. If I can get it to focus. Nope. Okay. So this is you radiating as a sun, as a star, as your own star. This is also your wish coming true and it being more than you expected, right? It's not just a star, it's a smiling sunshine star, okay? And so it knows things you don't know, and that's beautiful. This is what you can get excited about, is the exploration and discovery of this new world that you have created for yourself, this new version of you that you have become. And then we have the peace flower and the abundant star. Okay, this is the kind of wish that comes in that you can plant, that produces, that keeps producing. This is abundance. This is kind of like legacy. And this peace flower, I want to say, this is like a peaceful heart. This is giving me like your heart chakra blooming and opening and radiating its love everywhere. So that's beautiful. Okay. There it is. That's the reading for today. I hope there was some good stuff in there for you. And that you keep choosing you and love and light and integrating and cutting away all else. Okay, and trust that all things are working in your favor. Okay, just move the devil off of the things not seen, things growing under the surface. Whatever they are, you are empowered and unstoppable, and that is your legacy. So surrender and love, 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 love. Okay. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you next time.